There is a good reason why so many stories feature romance. It's a fantastic way for a viewer to empathize with a character, as romance provides an intimate look into a character's desires, insecurities, and aspirations. It also drives the plot forward in very dramatic ways, as love can inspire people to do irrational and otherwise impossible actions. Romance is an excellent way for an audience to see who a character really is, both in how they view the world and how they interact with their romantic interests. In fact, romance is such a universal compulsion that it has led to countless shipping wars, best girl and boy contests, and extremely passionate fanfiction. Throughout the 30-plus years I have lived on this planet, I've consumed a frankly absurd amount of romantic stories. I've sobbed until I couldn't cry anymore through the Chimera Ant arc, smiled until my cheeks became sore through the dangers in my heart, and curled into a ball under an army of blankets through March Comes In Like a Lion. Even if they're not the main focus of a story, romantic plotlines have an incredible power to connect you with a character, rooting for them to find happiness and fulfillment in requited love. However, this desire to see love reciprocated can be a double-edged sword, as many romantic storylines feature rivals and fellow love interests who are just as compelling as the main characters. Because romance is an easy tool to connect with a character, it is also extremely easy to connect with multiple love interests. And there is nothing worse than reading a series with a compelling and relatable character, only to realize that they are ultimately doomed to have their love unrequited. In the best case scenario, these love interests will find someone else to light up their lives, but even this can be false hope, as in many circumstances, this alternate pairing is given less screen time, making it less narratively satisfying as a result. And whenever a love triangle shows up in a series, that familiar dread fills my heart once again, knowing that one of these poor characters is going to be sidelined and rejected, despite my earnest desire to see them happy. So, when I first heard about 100 Girlfriends, a romantic comedy that promised to provide happy endings to not one, not two, but all love interests, I had some reasonable doubts. To say I was skeptical is an understatement. I've waded through the trenches of shipping wars before, and the idea that a series could satisfy all of its fans seemed impossible to me. And not only this, but 100 Girlfriends was a harem show, with a single male protagonist and an army of girlfriends, which made me suspect that the romantic relationships would be shallow, one-sided affairs, with the girlfriends constantly fighting each other for attention. So, when the first season of 100 Girlfriends aired, I made an enormous bowl of popcorn, settled into the couch, and waited for this show to deliver the same disappointing love triangles that I'd seen for so many years. And after binging several episodes back to back, I sat in utter shock at what I had just witnessed. Not only was 100 Girlfriends a wonderfully funny, charming story, but every character was given time to breathe, grow, and express their own desires in such a refreshing way. And none of this girls fighting over a boy bullshit. Any conflict between girlfriends was an opportunity for growth, None of this, "you'll have to wait until the end of the series to see them kiss" nonsense. They're ready to deliver in episode 2. The hype around 100 Girlfriends wasn't just real. The series was even more incredible than I could have imagined. To say I am in love with this series would be an understatement. I firmly believe that 100 Girlfriends is the perfect rom-com. It subverts every trope in the book while earnestly building upon them, creating a gigantic, endearing family where everyone gets their happy ending. Let me take you on a journey through the world of 100 Girlfriends and explain how it manages to balance comedy, drama, and love into one beautiful package. The story of 100 Girlfriends begins with the lovable but lonely Aijo Rentaro, a high schooler who has never had a girlfriend before. Even though he's a compassionate, attractive young man, every girl has rejected his confessions, stating that, for some reason, the thought of dating him makes them physically ill. Ever the optimist, Rentaro keeps moving forward, trying to find that special someone who won't be cosmically repulsed from dating him. But after 100 rejections, Rentaro starts to feel utterly disheartened, worrying that the universe has tipped the scales against him. In desperation, he visits a matchmaking shrine, begging the gods to change his romantic luck. And to his surprise and utter horror, the god of love physically appears before him, literally shifting through the offering box to grace Rentaro with his presence. According to the god of love, Rentaro's love life was a cosmic mistake. Rentaro was supposed to be one of the lucky people who gets a soulmate, but the day Rentaro was born, the god of love was distracted while watching Castle in the Sky and accidentally wrote down 100 instead of 1 on Rentaro's romantic chart. As a result, Rentaro has not 1, but 100 soulmates. And now that he has offset this incredible fortune with 100 rejections, he's now ready to start meeting these soulmates. However, although it is very lucky to have a soulmate, that luck comes with a heavy price. Having a soulmate consumes most of the luck in a person's life, and if 2 soulmates don't end up together, that bad luck will snowball until one of them dies. This means that not only does Rentaro have 100 soulmates, but if he doesn't find a way to date them all, then the partnerless soulmates, and even Rentaro himself, are doomed to die. So begins 100 Girlfriends, one of the most incredible and unhinged premises for a romantic comedy. Throughout the series, Rentaro has to find and romance 100 separate people while still making sure that all his girlfriends feel loved just as equally. With each and every romantic encounter that Rentaro has, he grows as a person and as a lover, balancing the many desires of his girlfriends against the physical limits of what one person can do. The fact that Rentaro always strives to make everyone happy is one of the many things that makes this show so endearing. At his core, Rentaro is a good person, and 100 Girlfriends turns his altruism into a superpower. Is one of his girlfriends late for school? No worries, he'll carry her in his arms, outrunning the school bus to make sure she gets there on time. Does one of his girlfriends keep breaking his bones whenever she gets embarrassed? No sweat. He's already healed by the time she's gone into a panic about it. Is the mangaka of 100 Girlfriends behind on inking pages and needs help to finish the latest chapter? No problem. Rentaro will bend time and space to break the fourth wall and help her finish the latest manuscript. The comically insane lengths that Rentaro goes to in order to build a happy life for his girlfriends is both hysterical and extremely heartwarming, making him an incredibly endearing protagonist that you can't help but root for. However, what really makes Rentaro such a perfect protagonist is his immense compassion and how he never pushes boundaries with his girlfriends. He respects them as people with fears and insecurities, and above all else, he tries to be a kind, caring partner who they can trust and rely on. The moments where Rentaro geeks out about his girlfriends, gushing over what makes them each individually wonderful, always manages to make me squeal aloud, since it's such a perfect expression of the love he holds for every one of them. Rentaro is just one part of what makes this series so amazing. The girlfriends themselves are just as incredible, with so many different characters and plot lines that it gives you a little bit of everything in one package. Want a story about innocent puppy love with a cripplingly shy girl who slowly builds her confidence? 100 Girlfriends has it. Want a raunchy romance with an incredibly horny girl with tons of sex appeal, high drama, and intense action? 100 Girlfriends has it. Want a story about how it's okay to fall in love, even though the thought of loving someone again is terrifying? 100 Girlfriends has it. Even though Rentaro's girlfriends have a central gimmick to their characters, this never defines or limits them, instead providing a foundation from which each character can grow. Karane may be a tsundere, but she becomes an aggressive ally to all of her fellow girlfriends, encouraging them to be honest with themselves and pursue what they desire most in life. Ai may be cold and calculating, but she starts to care deeply for the people in her life and becomes the type of person who will protect her family by any means necessary. Kusuri may love experimenting with questionably legal substances, but she quickly learns how her experiments affect those around her and becomes a steadfast friend who would use her mad scientist powers to save the world. The incredible thing about 100 Girlfriends is that every additional girlfriend is an opportunity for more character growth, more comedy, and more heartfelt drama that will bring everyone even closer. Despite the enormous roster of 100 Girlfriends, each girlfriend is their own person, with unique personalities and aspirations that play off each other. Unlike so many other romantic comedies and harem series, the romantic interests of 100 Girlfriends care just as much for each other as they do for Rentaro, forming and strengthening one enormous, loving family that strives to make everyone the happiest they can be. They promise a polyamorous world of eternal happiness, with the Rentaro family at the heart of it all. Wait, am I describing a cult? Is the Rentaro family a cult? Oh God, I'm always finding cults in everything I do. Okay, so maybe this is just one big love cult, but I blame Nakamura-sensei for writing such a lovable cast of characters. He manages to combine heartfelt moments with some of the most unhinged, fourth-wall-breaking comedy, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. Like, Nakamura-sensei gave really punny names to all of the characters. Aijo Rentaro is made up of multiple puns for love. Shizuka Yoshimoto is a pun for quiet bookworm. AI Nano is a pun on artificial intelligence. The list goes on. And don't get me started on the illustrator Nozawa-sensei. Oh, the work that she does to bring Nakamura's writing to life is unbelievable. Her draftsmanship, comedic timing, and expressive illustrations are the heart and soul of this series. The fact that the anime staff followed Nozawa-sensei's art style so closely is a testament to the importance of her illustrations to the work's visual storytelling. If all of this makes 100 Girlfriends a cult, well, then it looks like I'm in this one for the long haul. 100 Girlfriends is filled to bursting with romance, comedy, and heartfelt emotion, with every episode and chapter making you smile, laugh, and cry along with the characters. And above all else, the series accomplishes this while making sure that everyone gets a happy ending. I have never seen a rom-com accomplish this so flawlessly, and as my bookshelf continues to fill with every new volume of 100 Girlfriends, I cannot wait to see who will join the Rentaro family next. If this made you interested in joining or renewing your membership to the Rentaro family cult, either in anime or manga form, then welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay, as it's been a wonderful journey so far. If you're brand new to the series and want to get started, you are more than welcome to start with the anime, as it's a very faithful adaptation of the manga, with tons of charm from the animation, music, and voice acting. However, if you want the full experience, then you'll want to start with the manga first, since there are a ton of hilarious jokes that were cut for runtime in the anime, as well as a bunch of references to the manga that are even more hilarious with added context. Plus, you'll also get to see a bunch of hilarious girlfriends that haven't been animated yet, if you choose to read the manga first. At this point in time, there are 31 girlfriends who have been introduced in the manga. And of these, I'd argue that only one of them has a tenuous gimmick, which is pretty tame considering how enormous the cast of characters is. I've consistently found myself laughing out loud and tearing up while reading through the series, and it's entirely thanks to the incredible teamwork of Nakamura-sensei and Nozawa-sensei, who weave passion and comedy into this spectacular story. If you catch up on 100 Girlfriends and you want to hear more recommendations, then come swing by my seasonal anime reviews. I share all my favorites from the latest seasons, as well as the shows which have scarred me and my viewers irreparably. I'm so sorry for the psychic damage I've inflicted upon you all. The spores infected my brain. There was nothing I could do! If you really enjoy listening to me ramble about the asexual life cycle of spore demons, then you can check out my full playlist of seasonal anime reviews, which is now over 26 hours long. Fill your daily commute with discussions on how the third season of Yuru Camp was a disgrace to all fans of the show, or how MAPPA managed to become a household name for worker exploitation, or how I Parry Everything is proof that there should be more thick men in anime. Just like 100 Girlfriends, these seasonal anime streams have a little something for everyone. And only a small fraction of listeners come away with permanent, rock dog-induced psychic damage. Thank you so much for joining me in yet another addition to my new series, where I'll be sharing my favorite anime and games, and explaining why I think they might become your favorites too.